Okay, Alice, you're here from Pielicious because I really make a mess out of pie crust. So let's get right into it and show us how to make the perfect crust.
All right. Well, first what I have in here is 2½ cups of flour, a ½ teaspoon of salt, and a tablespoon of sugar, just to give it a little sweetness. And then to that, you're going to add a ½ cup of butter, which you cut up.
Unsalted or salted?
I use salted, so that's why I only put ½ teaspoon of salt in. All right, so we have a ½ cup of butter and a ½ cup of shortening, and then this is a pastry cutter. Yes.
Better than using those modern machines like a food processor. Get your hands dirty. You taught me that.
Right, but I do use the processor now only because of the volume of pies that I make. But believe it or not, I used to do this all by hand when I first started. So the key is that you want to get this crumbly and just cut in that butter and shortening as quickly as possible, because cold is key when you're making pastry.
Thus having the marble as well if you're going to be baking often.
It just keeps the area cold. So what you end up with is something that looks like this. Little crumbles.
Perfect.
And then the second key is ice cold water. And I put in 2/3 of a cup of ice water.
Okay, and that's good to know because I'm never sure if I'm adding too much or not. And I know you shouldn't. You have to be careful not to overwork it when the water goes in.
You also put in about a tablespoon of vinegar. Vinegar keeps the gluten from stretching.
Thank you, because so many people ask us, we've seen recipes, right?
Okay.
That why would you put vinegar? Now I know why. That makes a lot of sense with the gluten.
Right. So what you do is you want to toss it lightly with the fork, just so it sticks together. You're not trying to make a cookie dough.
Right.
And you just want to get it so that it forms into a ball.
Perfect. Perfect consistency. You should do this for a living.
Yeah. So that just goes into a ball, and I actually have a prepared disc that is...
So you can show us how to roll it out.
Right.
I love it.
Because it should be chilled overnight is the best thing to do. And if you wouldn't mind getting that disc out of the cooler.
In the official cooler.
My official cooler.
We have to keep it.
Because it really is best to keep this chilled overnight. So this just wouldn't do well.
No, you're absolutely right.
Right.
Good.
So here we have.
We have plenty of discs.
Right.
Okay.
So this is what it looks like, and I pre-measure all of my discs before I put it in the fridge. This way, I know when I roll it, it's going to be just about the right size for that pie plate. And then when you roll, it's really important that you're rolling more than you're pressing. I find, especially when I work with kids, they just want to press instead of rolling. And if you can see those little flakes of butter, that's what's going to give you your flakiness. And
your pies are so flaky. Now let's give a shout out because you won Best Bakery, and that is something to be really proud about.
That was Reader's Choice in Northport. I was voted the best bakery in Northport, so I'm really proud of that.
So you should be, and we have about 30 seconds left, and I'm learning so much already about making sure how you roll it.
If you can hand me that pie plate right there, the empty one, because when
you've got it,
do that, you want to put it on your rolling pin. Again, the less time that you actually touch the pastry, the better. And then you fold over the edges, like so. And then what you're going to do is pinch it, and that gives you that nice little crimp when you're all done. Making pies is very labor intensive, and that's what I tell people. But it's well worth it, as you know.
I just think homemade fruit pie is the best thing in the world, and knowing you is the best thing in the world. Now, well, I know you're going to get ready for your apples, and you have an old-fashioned apple peeler, which I had in my restaurant. I want to remind everybody, you can go on mysuncoast.com. Watch the video again, so make your pie crust along with Alice from Pielicious, and you'll be able to get a recipe for the most awesome apple pie. Ta-da! We have it right here. Alice, I want to thank you so much for coming up today and teaching us. We have great skills, and we're ready now to have a fabulous apple pie. I'm going to enjoy it in the break, and I know you will too. Thanks, Alice.
Okay, thank you.